And welcome back. I'm the Doc, Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. You're watching Open. Now, next guest is a successful multi-entrepreneur. She's a licensed mental therapist, speaker, and the owner of and founder of Balance Wellness Collective and Ascension Mentality. She's here to join us to speak about the importance of mental health and how she helps others become the best version of themselves. So please welcome to the show, Amy Wilhelmi. Amy, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Amy, how did you get involved in all of this? It seems like to get involved in something so close to a person, you really have to be in it for some time. Tell us about it. How did you get involved?
Yeah, so I've been licensed clinically for about 10 years. I own a large mental health that's called Balance Wellness Collective.
Yes.
I employ about 10 licensed therapists. So that's that business. And
Hmm.
then essentially, I'm writing a book. I'm doing lots of speaking events all over the world. I'm really focusing on mindset and
Hmm.
mentality and and can do for people in their lives. So
Now,
that's
do you coach athletes or you're an athlete yourself?
both. So I specifically work with athletes, with trainers, teams in general. I am a bodybuilder, so I do women's
All
bikini
right.
division body.
There you go. All right. Do you help out women or men also?
I do both. So I work specifically with the athlete mentality, whether they're feeling like stuck, or sometimes athletes are injured or sidelined and they're not able to do what they're trained to do, right? So they're in that stuck place. They don't really know what the next steps are. So I
Hmm.
specifically work that. And then also, there's another thing that happens in an athlete's life when they're thinking about retiring or they have retired and they're kind of like, now what? What the heck do I do with my
Yeah.
life after
Yeah.
entire time doing my sport? So those are my niches in the world of athletes.
Yeah. So people get stuck during that time when they find out that they have to retire and that
Yeah.
I guess that can be a big problem, right? What I've been doing this all of my life. I've been using my body, but where do I go from here? What's next?
Yeah, I mean, you experience loss. You have to work through this phase of like uncertainty and confusion, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of a grief. Sometimes their relationships get a little bit messed up because it's really the core loss of identity, right? You're like
Mm.
so direct oriented and focused, and then suddenly that's gone. So again, it's like I work specifically with athletes that are injured or maybe not able to perform or are at that next stage where they're thinking about retiring. They
Yeah.
have to invent themselves. It's a pivot.
And this is all within Ascension Mental.
Yeah, is the athlete coaching. Now, I coach individual athletes on this mentality, and then I also do presentations for teams.
Hmm.
So, youth teams, college teams, and everything in between. So, a lot of my speaking engagements are with those teams, and then
Hmm.
my coaching is with the athletes themselves. And, it's completely confidential, just like therapy. I think sometimes mental health is still to this day has a stigma. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. People need. You need to see someone. But when you talk about mental health, you're absolutely right. There is a stigma attached to it. You know, people are going to find out that I went to see somebody. They're going to think I'm crazy, I'm nuts. But no, I think people need, if you really, really need it, you need to go see somebody and just iron some things out.
Right. Just work through it. I mean, I wish like you go to the gym, you try to eat healthy, you should go to your therapist and kind of work through some of that stuff too. So you're not feeling stuck. You're not in that bad place. So,
Yeah, yeah. So tell us, how has COVID-19 impacted the mental health uh, therapy as far as you working
yeah,
with people? I know a lot of people who got stuck on that, and people are still going to be suffering from TPST associated
yeah.
with mental health. associated with the COVID-19, basically.
Yeah, I think the biggest impact obviously has been the isolation that people have experienced, right? They're not used to being so isolated. We're kind of social beings. So that's been really difficult for everybody's mentality and mental health. I think what it did do in a positive light for mental health is kind of this being able to connect more normally with people that are all over the world. I think that luckily the insurance companies kind of kicked in and said, oh, we can switch to telehealth
Yeah.
and get people they need. So the telehealth industry of mental health and doing it, via video or phone has kind of exploded, which is good because it's helped people. I see
Uh-huh.
clients over the
Yeah.
so
Hey, Amy, how did you get into competitive bodybuilding, and what have you learned from it?
yeah. So I like a good challenge, right? I kind of went through my own ascension journey. I'm actually
Yeah.
now it's called Ascension Mentality. The first book just came out called Making Mental Gains. I needed a challenge. I needed something to work towards, and so I started doing it. I hired a trainer. I travel. I'm with
Uh,
a team. But really, what it's done for my lifestyle is kind of this huge overhaul, right? So, I mean, you have to be incredibly dialed and incredibly focused
yeah.
and organized.
S- Yeah. So basically, you tested it on yourself. You tested it
I
out
did.
on yourself.
I did. Yeah. Um, I think I'm also a mom, so I have a blended family. I have 5 children. We have 5 children all
Oh,
together. So I needed something for me as well besides work. I needed a hobby. I needed something that just was a passion
yeah.
of mine that had nothing to do with work or being a mom.
And this is also a therapy for you.
Oh, incredibly therapeutic. Yeah. I mean, I know that my rest days are necessary, but I don't love them. Like I
Yeah.
love the adrenaline consistency and what happens in the gym and on a daily basis.
Great, great. Where can we go to find out more about Amy?
Yeah, so my website is www.amywilhelmy.com.
Say, yeah. Give that to me one more time.
Yes, it's www.amywilhelmy.com. And the book is on sale on Amazon. It's called Making Mental Gains.
Gotcha. Amy, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you, and you're always welcome to come back.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Amy Wilhelmy, founder, Balanced Wellness Collective and Ascension Mentality. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll take a quick break right here, and we'll come back and give you a whole lot more next.